Hey, what is up, my guys? So today we're going to be going over some Riftbound investing. This is going to be our market update. This is a segment that I plan to do about every Sunday, maybe Monday, depending on what real life shit's going on for me. Um, and I kind of just want to go over the current market states for all the sets and what's going on. So to start that, this is going to be week one of this little segment, and the goal of this is one, I want user feedback of you guys to be like, are there other aspects of a booster box or printing that we should be taking into consideration, and also just having historical data. I don't want to pick a set to invest in based on vibes. I want to pick it based on numbers. um, so that being said, I track things like what was the booster box price at the end of Saturday night, how many sold that week, what was the ending supply, case, pack price, what is the top 10 chase cards, and my favorite thing is EV of this box as well. So with all this information there, it can give us one, a historical data point of where sets are going, and maybe we can reference back to this on future sets. But it also lets me dive a little deeper into certain things, and maybe we can see trends forming over time. That being said, I also do have some conditional formatting in the spreadsheet currently where, if the booster box case price reduced to the boxes inside is greater than a single box, it's red, or green if it's lower. So if I did like 240 here and hit enter, okay, it's lower, so conditional formats that, but right now it's just a function call. And then same thing with the price, so times 24, how many packs are in there. So currently your best bang for your buck is going to be your booster box. This also proves that there is almost $80 case premium per box currently. Astronomical amount. That's literally 25% case premium, and that's something that we can look over time. Is there a case premium? So if I go to buy a new set at MSRP, lots of stores will do this. Hey, if you buy six, we'll just ship you a full case. Perfect. I'll buy six at MSRP. Love it. I get my case in, and it's probably going to have some case premium where I'm already up on my money at that point. So when I'm looking at new sets, I'm probably not going to be looking at single boxes. I might be looking at cases only because we're three sets deep right now, and it's holding true. And there's a case premium, and maybe not as big as Unleash, but right now there's a gap on Spirit Forge, and there's a gap on Origins that's massive. So for you guys looking out there in the wild, there's one of two ways this happens. Either that gap stays the same and it's a 25%, I doubt that, or we see a buying slow down on cases while it increases on single boxes. The last other thing is maybe just more cases come to market at a lower price. One of my favorite things, we talked about this many times, is expected valuation for this, or your EV and your EV ratio. Once again, Origin came back down from that 0.98, which was amazing. But I also want to cover this. So this is the website I use. This is theexpectedvalue.com. You can go over to Riftbound. They have all three sets. I did not know this, and it's in big bold letters, but I totally missed it. Signatures aren't in the calculations. So when we're having a 0.76 ratio on Origins, the signatures aren't there. Are they very rare? Yes. You can see that the highest value one is the ARI, which is the overnumbered non-signature. So once again, it just makes my belief in these sets being even better. It can also explain kind of why Spirit Forge is low. Yes, it has some very expensive signature cards, but overall the set does have a lower EV. Things about lower EV, maybe the playability of Spirit Forge is lower, and this is something I want to track over time when we have new set releases as well. Because hey, new set comes out, things in Spirit Forge might become unbanned or banned, or the meta shifts in such a way that the cards in Spirit Forge are needed. So one of the things we should look at after Vendetta's release is, do we see a rise of the cards and Spirit Forge as well at the price? Because now those cards are more playable in the current meta. So once again, that's why I love doing something like this while we have historic data about what's going on. So it's something I want to give to you guys at a certain point where, hey, I'm going to make this as a shareable spreadsheet. You guys can copy all the data out, and you can see if you can find some trends or any data points, or maybe you guys want to make some graphs for yourself with historical data, because quite honestly, some of this information just isn't there long term. So let's hit the market today. Let's see what's going on. Origins 341, we're up. The last couple 320 sold, 330 sold. Apparently someone snagged a nice deal. And they're all gone. Yeah, first edition, apparently someone was willing to pay 650. Once again, for first print, people are paying crazy prices for this, and to my knowledge, we just have no reprint on like the horizon. and I think they should reprint it, but by that point, what's the price going to be? How far can it actually pull back? So it's crazy. And we have the reprint confirmed by stores. I got my pre-order in for another MSRP box, and people are just buying it up. I was hoping for a pullback so I can get another 2 cases of this. So I might be looking like the clown in this case by by not buying last week at some of the lows because in a couple weeks times on July 10th we were sitting at 140 market price. So uh, Spear Forge, people love it. People love it. People are trying to get that Ari, and I still think it has the best artworks when it comes to the signatures. So apparently there is just astronomical amount of demands. People aren't stopping. 27, 26 days of 46. This isn't just like this is a 3-month trend. It's just not slowing down at the price points. So yeah, this is going to be something we need to watch, especially with the reprints coming. How does the market actually take it? Unleash just grinding up there day after day. Not as much being sold compared to Spirit Forge and especially Origin as well. And supply is 172. The ending supply for Spirit Forge was 313 on the end of Saturday. So I mean, like there's way more Spirit Forge, but yet it's having more being sold, so it kind of makes sense in this case. And then so pre-orders for Vendetta. So I only took the price. I don't care for the supply. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, there's one box, or this is for a single box. It's wow, I didn't expect that. There's just one listing. Every time someone lists, it gets bought out. So okay, yeah, it's really hard. I don't want to take too much information off this just because people can only list if you have that capability through TCG Player. I expect a flood of people to start listing on the 31st when it's open for anyone to list. So I don't even have that. My shop is, level 4, but I'm not a storefront, so I can't do pre-orders on here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this performs, and I can't wait to track that. Last couple sealed to cover. There's the World 2025 box. We do once again have the T1 2025 winner box. I can't say this enough. It is a must buy. You must grab that. You please enter the raffle. I hope you win. Fingers crossed for you. I hope you guys pray a little for me because I want one. I want one sealed forever. you know, other than TSM, T1 has always been one of my favorite teams as well. So, the buying of this just hasn't slowed down. I thought it was going to pull back, but here we are, almost the same price, a couple listings away from 1400. I think we even had a 1400 sale today or yesterday. It's not pulling back as much. But then you go over to something like Arcane, boom, we're seeing this pullback. It was hitting the 750 range, and now it's in the low 600s. Good. I think this is a better value. I think this is where you should be looking at it. If we have a clear bottom here, don't be afraid to pick it up. Once again, there's definitely a grading play to be had on there. I won't be shocked if there's more of these cards in the pipeline of other people grading, but don't let that scare you off for something like this. Overall, market's booming. Market's doing great. You know, there's no immediate things that are jumping out to me as buy. Maybe Unleashed is looking pretty juicy. I don't want to miss out on some serious legs up on this, so maybe I'm going to be looking at some cases. But once again, it wouldn't be shocked. Radiance comes out set 5. They drop a reprint of Unleashed, but by the time that those reprints get here, what's going to be the price? Because Radiance is going to be coming out for 2.5, 3 months from now. So UVS and Riot are up against the mountain right now. There's just so much buying pressure on everything, on every cards, every front, every sealed, any specialty stuff. There's just so much buying pressure, and it's just going up, and it's going to spiral. And I hope they can print more, and I really do. I want this to be a long-term thing, but we've seen it in other games where if there's just no one playing the game, then it doesn't work out. So prioritize players. I truly believe in that, but don't mess up the investors too hard. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys, and I hope you have a good start of your week, and I'll be posting later. Peace.